the Sharks at home to the Canberra Raiders, whose season goes on the line one more time. They've got to keep on winning if they want to sneak into 8th spot on the ladder. Can they make it 3 straight wins for the first time all season? That's the job at hand for them. They've lost Jared Croker. They've lost Aiden Caesar as well. So Cronulla look the team to beat tonight. Paul Gallen giving his team one final rallying cry. Here come the visitors. An 8-9 record right now. 9th on the NRL ladder. Randy Alexander, what are you expecting from them?
Well, they are without some key players, as you just mentioned. Aiden Caesar is a blow, but Blake Austin comes into the starting side. He's done a terrific job for the Canberra Raiders off the bench over the last couple of matches. And, well, single-handedly won them the game against the Bulldogs a couple of weeks ago. And that just keeps them in the conversation in terms of the finals. Still 4 points behind as it sits at the moment, but we've got the Broncos taking on the Panthers after this one. But the Raiders need to keep winning. The Sharks, well, they're on a little bit of a run themselves. Their last 2 against the Warriors and the Panthers, 2 very good wins away from home. They're back here at Shark Park. Valentine Holmes blocker has been outstanding in his time at fullback. He's played the last 4 games there. Last week was brilliant.
Well, I don't think there's any better side in the game than Val Holmes in the clear. 14 tries in his last 12 games. A wonderful effort. I really like the Sharks bench. I think they're the dark horses of the competition. Seguiaro, Woods comes on, does his job, and Peculiar, a fine player.
And Matty Moylan, what a performance last week against the Panthers from him. Scored his first try as a Shark and certainly silenced the Knockers last week. They were out in force at Panthers Stadium. Rapiner was exceptional against the Cowboys last week after returning from his hamstring problem. He's got 7 tries in his last 5 against Cronulla as well. Away we go in the first game in our Friday night doubleheader on Fox League. And it's going to be Dunamis Lui to bring it back for the Raiders. His 7th straight start in the front row. Papali has been in the middle lately, but there was a mistake in the play the ball, and the Sharks will get it 20 out to start with.
Gee, what a blow. What a blow that is. Dunamis Lui, you said it's his 8th straight starting game. I've been impressed with the way he's been able to run the ball. Get his foot to the, just a little fumble there with a hand just before it got to the foot.
He tried to play it really quick, didn't he? Gallen was all over him. Really late to take his hand off him. Unlucky not to get the penalty there, the Raiders.
So the Sharks go for it. Little set play here. Moylan was trying to get it out the back. Didn't quite come off as they'd drawn it up. Well, snuffed out by Soliola. As that man, Valentine Holmes, looked to break clear. Now Pryor. And the ball's come loose here. And the penalty is the decision this time. Do they take the 2 early?
I reckon they will.
No, not after the start they had. Let's get on with it. They've been gifted this start. See if they can make the most of it.
You don't see it too often these days, but they turn down the gift too. Inside the opening 90 seconds to stay on the front foot. Brayley goes to Moylan. And now the change of direction from Fafita. A little hole opened up briefly. Important tackle made by Soliola down low. Now Townsend on to Sorensen. He coughs it up. And maybe the shot at 2 was a better option.
In hindsight, Lockie, they made the wrong call.
Yeah, it was a good tackle by Soliola too on this left-hand side. He come up out of the line. He really does take it personally too and challenges opposition players. He's the man that forced the ball free.
Papali does get this hit up after that mistake denied him the first stat. He ran for more than 200 metres last time these teams squared off in round 10. And we have an amazing stat between these 2 clubs, don't we, Megan Barnard?
Well, it's somewhat of a bizarre home and away record, Speedy, that will give the Raiders plenty of hope tonight. In the last 10 encounters between these 2 sides, it's the away team that has come out on top. A record that dates back 5 years. It's a streak the Green Machine will certainly be hoping continues tonight because, as we know, it's now or never if they want to play finals footy in September.
That sequence of 10 straight away wins in this fixture has Brandy Alexander flabbergasted.
Well, we've got some extraordinary home and away records, but that is one of the more bizarre ones, isn't it? 10 games. 10 games. They've won their last 4 here.
Cronulla at this place, tough to beat. Canberra in the nation's capital, tough to beat, but not in this fixture. Brayley goes to Ramian, the young centre. Missed 1 game through injury. Now scored tries in his last 6 games. 7 during that sequence. Fafita finished off over the top strongly by Louis. Wade Graham to kick. And it's a nice spiral too. Camped underneath it. It was awkward and left behind as well. A big mistake from the fullback, Abbey. And Holmes was there to pounce. Rapiner held him up for a long, long time, and he's going to the bin.
Jordan.
Just trying to make it look like he was going to get onside there. What about the bomb from Graham? A left footer, so important to this Sharkies side.
What a great option it is for the Sharks to have someone like Wade Graham on the edge, Brad Abbey, and we watched the players in warm-up here. It's very breezy at Shark Park, and just watched bombs being put up and players just struggling to get anywhere near them, as Brad Abbey did then. Just so hard to judge in the breeze. It was a spiral turner, and here's Gal.
Under immense pressure in the opening exchanges, the Canberra Raiders. Now they defend with 12 for the next 10. Now after Rapiner eventually got off, Fafita stands and eventually put on the deck. Hodgson got down low. Pryor goes through the hands. Moylan was screaming for it. Holmes, Latelli, great tackle. They try and take him into touch. He does well to stay in the field of play. Now Wade Graham will move it back centre field through Gallen. And that was a nice, solid hit by Hodgson. Had Gallen rocking back the other way. Brayley from dummy half with a dart, combining with Graham. And they get to the last tackle. Which way will they go? Brayley looks for the kick for Fafita of all people. It goes dead. 20-metre restart, 7 tackle set.
Gee, they made a mess of that. They should have scored. It was great scramble defence by the Raiders, because they went the side where Rapana would have been defending, and somehow Blake Austin was able to corral Ricky Latelli, and then Jaden Brayley on the last play. You just can't afford to get that one wrong, just over the dead ball line.
He was kicking for a choice of front rowers blocker. Well, didn't happen in your day, did it?
Well, just something a little bit different there from Brayley out of dummy half. At least everyone's on side when you do attempt that kick, but Brandy's right. You've got to nail those sort of kicks. We've got to pay tribute to the defence of the Raiders early in this game.
And we've seen it a lot in recent months, haven't we? The team that goes down to 12 is often the next to score. Austin trying to create something with Soliola. Playing on the left edge. At the start of this game, at least. Now Hodgson scheming. How's his kick from dummy half? It's beautiful. Holmes. Referee says he's back in the field of play just by centimetre.
Yeah, he was just able to get the ball out into the field of play. That's a good stop. Good recovery there from Valentine Holmes. And a good reply from the Canberra Raiders off that 7 tackle set.
Have a look at the right side there of the Raiders at the moment. If they spread the football, they got on the outside of them here.
Just got that ball into the field of play, Val Holmes.
And remember, last time these teams met, he got in a horrible pickle for the opening try in a similar situation. And then hit back with some kind of performance in round 10 did Valentine. He ran for more than 300 metres in the nation's capital. Townsend under pressure. Louis got to him, but it's still a decent kick. Abbey gets there on the full and links up with Leilua, who dropped back into that wing spot for Rapid.
Jaden Braille. Boy, underneath. Stop Leilua. That's not easy.
Abbey up towards halfway. Only one man down that shorter side. It was Elliott Whitehead. Hodgson uses Leilua with a similar play. There's that hit from Brayley, textbook stuff from the 22-year-old. Now Williams to Austin. The new halves pairing with Aiden Caesar not involved tonight. And now Williams, his teammate got in the road. That was Paulo, and as a result, it's a poor kick right on to the chest of the former Raider, Edric Lee.
Yeah, it was the pressure of Chad Townsend that put the pressure on. He chased there. Just little things in the game. The little 1%ers was a kick off the side of his boot that time. All pressure there from Townsend.
Wade Graham gives them some go forward here, the Sharks, who've won 4 of their past 5 at home. Moylan, Townsend, out the back to Valentine Holmes, and Ramian gets rid of the first tackler, as he does so often. He put Williams on the deck.
Well, it's Williams and Oldfield. Oldfield's come into the centres after playing well on the wing for the Raiders over the last couple of weeks. He's got his hands full against Jesse Ramian.
Now quickly through to the hands to Graham. Catch and pass from Latelli. They scream forward in the stands, but it's okay for Edric. There's the Raiders fans at least asking for a forward pass. Nothing doing, and they get a penalty at the end of it all.
It's on 10, Andrew. It's on 10.
Right here in line with me.
Yeah, it was borderline the pass, but I think the fact Edric Lee's body was in front of the man that passed the ball, Latelli, but the ball went behind him. So touch judge was right there to call it.
Go.
Now Gallen sets them up in front of that upright, as he does so often. Brayley does go left. Townsend. Moylan let it hit the deck, otherwise a knock-on was brewing, and Latelli tracked it down.
Held there, 1 way. Hold, go 2.
Can they hold on again, Canberra? Fafita puts the big don't argue on. Hodgson runs right over the top of them. Andrew Fafita. Very similar to a try he scored in the grand final. And that's what they're dreaming of again in 2018, these Sharkies.
Well, there's not many front rowers in the game like Andrew Fafita. 120 kilos and athletic as he is, with that speed and that ability to push away defenders and get going again. Leg speed, look at it. Gets away from the defence after shoving a couple on their backs. Hodgson, one of them, there he goes. Dynamis Louis can't handle the size of Fafita. They needed to score while the Raiders were down to 12 men, and the big man makes sure of it.
Well, Brandy, this is a big forward pack they're playing against in the Canberra Raiders. I love the way that Fafita bumps players out of the road. 60 offloads this season. And you're right, I don't think there's been any front rowers that could score a try that close to the line, apart from probably Arthur Beetson. He bumped away, he shows good strength, and then he just got his legs pumping. Great try to Fafita, but they had to score there, the Sharks.
Yeah, Blocky came to a standstill then. So for a big man to be able to knock a couple of players sideways, but then to have the acceleration to just leave the others behind and get himself across the line, he's a special player, Andrew Fafita.
He's got more tries against Canberra than any other team. Andrew Fafita make it 5 now, and that's his first of the season, Blocky. He's off the nudie run. That's why he celebrated.
That's why he celebrated so much, yes, but he's a wonderful player, Fafita. He's really matured too this season. A lot of responsibility earlier on in the year. He's paid the Sharkies back. What a great try. Timing that is, at the line, bumping like that. Great timing.
Big high kickoff here from Austin. So they do get those points against 12 men. Rapana still in the bin. After his early indiscretion, the professional foul. Fafita with his tail up. Tries to go over the top of Soliola. His tackling has been perfect so far. Townsend scheming and keeps the legs pumping as well. About 8 metres after contact there from Townsend. Following the lead of his big man, here's Pryor.
Let go now, Marcus.
Still tackles up their sleeve to go up over halfway through Gallen. Graham, great ball, here he comes, Holmes. That was a desperate tackle. Brilliant from Whitehead to track down the speedster. Now Graham again. And the pass bound for Edric Lee. Knocked down by Leilua. And they asked for the last touch off Edric. They won't get it, though. It's a Sharks feed for now.
Well, they had them struggling, didn't they? Gallen out of dummy half. He just needed to find some support. Val Holmes, no one hits the ball and a space like Valentine Holmes. And then off the back of that, Wade Graham to dummy half, went down that short side with Latelli. Pass didn't find its mark, but it found Leilua's hand, and they get the ball back, the Sharks.
He always takes the right option too, Wade Graham. I'm a huge fan of his on the left-hand side. The catch and pass straight away off Gallen. Put Valentine Holmes into the hole. Then he gets himself involved again. Doesn't sit back and rest on his laurels. Here they come again now, the Sharks.
Fafita, one off the scrum, and they can't handle him again. He goes to Sorensen.
Oh, he needed to pass the ball. He needed to pass Sorensen.
Katoa would have gone over untouched if they went through the hands, but they keep going up the middle, and Gallen is put on his backside by Hodgson. Louis focusing on wrapping up the ball. Eventually got his man to ground. Now Moylan, numbers left. Graham runs into a dead end. His ball playing's been exceptional in the last couple of minutes. Brayley left it behind, but there was a little hand in there, or a foot, and it's another penalty.
Blake is in the ruck and it hits his foot. Josh?
Tell you what, they're just trying to go straight through the middle of the Canberra Raiders. And as I said, they're not a small pack, the Raiders. They're taking it on in their strength. They've got a lot of players out in their outside backs. It's been a strong performance, plenty of football here for the Sharks early in this first half. And I'm surprised they're taking the kick of goal here. I reckon Canberra would be happy about it, Brandy.
Well, they'll be happy to see this man get himself back on the field, because they look short again, Block. And Sorensen, if he passes the ball to Jesse Ramian, well, either Ramian scores or Katoa scores during that set.
So Townsend lining up another 2 points to make the lead beyond that one converted try. It'll be 13 on 13 after this. Townsend going at 75% in 2018, the local junior.
I reckon they had the Raiders on the rack there.
Townsend, off the upright. They weren't really expecting that, were they? But they'll get the ball back.
It's a drop out on the 20, mate.
And it's a difficult night for goal kicking. That wind is really blustery at ground level, isn't it, Megan?
I'll tell you what, tricky conditions here, Speedy. It is blowing an absolute gale here at Shark Park. Something that we know is not uncommon in this part of the world, but it's blowing from the right to the left of your screen, but it's also swirling, which could prove a real nightmare for the fullbacks under the high ball tonight, as we saw a short time ago with Brad Abbey.
Well, it's got a bit of bite to it, that breeze too.
Yes.
Southerly.
Everyone's rugged up in the stands tonight at Southern Cross Group Stadium.
Not as bad as Canberra, though, Speedy.
No, it was minus last week for Megan on the sideline, as the Raiders got the job done over the Cowboys. That great shot on Fox League of Jonathan Thurston experiencing sub-zero in his final season in the NRL and puffing out the cheeks saying, what's all this about? Now Brayley goes to Townsend. Plenty of runners in motion. Moylan, short ball for Graham. Keeps it moving. Oh, the hands for Edric.
That's beautiful.
What a try! One of the great tries in 2018 from the Sharkies. Oh, the hands from each and every one of them. Exceptional.
Well, there was a couple of miracle passes in there, and I think it started with Wade Graham. They've had some success down that left side tonight. Rapiner is on the field now, so it's 13 on 13. Moylan holds it up. He juggles it. Valentine Holmes, brilliant, as was Edric Lee. Back into Latelli. That is a great Sharks try.
Now, just have a look at all the players in motion there. Gallen was back on the inside of Townsend. They went on there out wide, back on the inside of Latelli. But great to watch. Everyone up on the ball. Beautiful pass there back inside by Lee. Hasn't he found his feet here at Cronulla?
Well, I thought the work from Wade Graham was special because he almost dropped that footy. He had to juggle that before he got control of it again, and then all in one motion pushed it out to Valentine Holmes, who himself just shoveled it out there to Edric Lee. That was beautiful to watch.
And it looked like Latelli had a choice of taking that pass initially if he wanted to, but he let it go to Edric Lee, thinking, I'll knock it on if I try and grab this. And it worked out being the right option, didn't it?
Well, you just can't be critical of the Canberra defence. That they couldn't have done much more than what they did. They were just pulled apart by 3 great passes.
The Harlem Globetrotters came to town all of a sudden, the way they were throwing it around there. Little readjustment on this blustery evening for Townsend. Look at that, oscillating like a Titleist at Carnoustie. Hope you're enjoying the British Open coverage on your sports leader across this weekend as Townsend makes the necessary adjustment after that miss a moment ago, and it's 12-0 to the home team.
Just watch Wade Graham there. Just had to pull it back in before he passed the ball. Edric Lee does a great job there after the cover defence coming across. Nails him over the sideline, but not before he can flick it back into Ricky Latelli.
Just 3 tries this season now, but he does his job week in, week out. 205 metres last time these teams squared off.
Well, it does raise the question, what happens when Josh Dugan is fit? Where does Dugan slot back into this side? You can't see him getting the fullback job back ahead of Holmes.
I think there's a feeling that he might wind up on the right wing and young Katoa might be the one who drops out. Don't forget, right after this, another blockbuster on Fox League. The Broncos against Penrith at Suncorp. Brisbane looking a little shaky in 8th. They'll be liking this scoreline right now, though. The West Tigers may provide a bit of a threat to 8th spot, more so than the Raiders, unless they can fight back in this one.
Well, the glut of possession that the Sharks have had does reflect on the scoreline. 10 from 11. Canberra only getting through 3 sets at the moment.
Now Moylan, that left side again. Graham, Latelli, trying to get on the outside of Leilua, and again able to flick it inside and find his man. Moylan trying to get that spiral going. It's a tumbler. It drops short. They almost overran it. It falls back in his lap. He goes to Edric Lee again. Oh, the flick pass misses its mark. But they are looking in the mood tonight, the Sharks.
It's a horrible night for the back 3, any one of them. All 6 of them, actually, because the Raiders just haven't had a chance to put one up yet. That one fell short. Brad Abbey was no chance to get to the ball. Moylan cleaned up the bouncing ball and almost produced something again down that side of the field.
Just the sharpness of passing. When you have a look at it, when Moylan's on the outside there to Wade Graham, as you say, it's virtually impossible. They're passing so slick to try and scramble. I know they've been a man down for a little while, but they'll be worn out at the moment, the Raiders. A lot of blokes down on their haunches. They haven't had any football, and it's been fast and furious from the Sharks.
Well, they're having to get themselves reacquainted with the steed, and it's the first time they've had it since the 8th minute. 13 minutes straight of the ball with the Sharks, and they've finally got it. Canberra, what can they do with it? Some go forward there. Good strong run from Junior Paulo. Now Williams to Soliola. Canberra will feel they need to score next. Midway through this first half. Paulo wasn't expecting it from a standing start. He's wrapped up by Sorensen. Gallen in there as well. Those two squared off in a ring 18 months ago. Gallen and Paulo at the Hordern Pavilion. Gallen getting on points. And they're getting them on points again tonight, the Sharks. Holmes under no pressure. Turns 23 on Tuesday, Valentine Holmes. 14 tries in his last 12 NRL games, as well as those Origin exploits for Queensland. Now Ramian, always looking for work.
He's strong, isn't he?
Oh, boy, he's powerful.
Aaron Woods is out there now, and the number 16 jumper. They go left side again for Graham.
Well, the great thing for Woods is he doesn't have to really be a leader in this game of footy. Just go out, do your job, make your yards, find your front.
He's getting used to all the chat from the other forwards at his new club. He's used to making most of the noise at the Bulldogs and the West Tigers in the past, but with Gowan and Lewis and company around, Woods has taken the back seat in his early weeks as a Shark. Now Rapana.
Still running for 152 metres on average off the bench too with the Sharks, so rolls his sleeves up when he does get out there, Woods.
Oh, Leilua nearly over the top of them. Sorensen had to let him go. As a result, there's a quick play the ball for Rapana from dummy half. Links with Leilua. Leipana put it on a platter for Abbey. And the Raiders are the next to score, and they're back in it.
Yep.
Brad Abbey with his second try in the NRL.
Gee, that's impressive from Canberra under all the pressure that they've been served up from the Cronulla Sharks. Jordan Rapana, really incredible. The comeback game last week after 6 weeks on the sidelines with a hamstring injury was outstanding. And look at him just brush away from defenders. Just before the break from Rapana, I was about to mention Leilua, and I said, well, if there's a good sign for the Raiders tonight, it's the fact that Leilua is putting his hand up to run the footy. A couple of times when they were down to 12 men, he came up with a big run, and that one too, where he almost got himself into the clear. Quick play the ball, Rapana off the back of it, who's come in from the right side to follow Leilua, open the Cronulla Sharks up the middle to score the try, which really is against the run of play block.
Well, they were very slow to get back, weren't they? The Sharks after the tackle. It's a great combination, isn't it? Rapana, just great strength in the middle of the ruck, pushing away from players. Straight away, Leilua just knew he was there. The pass back on the inside to Abbey. Now, that's good there from the young fellow too. Just sniffing out something happening. Supports back on the inside.
It wasn't that easy either, was it? The pass back on the inside. It was pretty flat, and it had to be.
Yeah, he seemed to be waiting to put himself in a better position to throw that pass. Leilua as Williams, well, kicks his first goal.
Yeah, his first kick in the NRL.
First kick in the NRL.
Well, Croker's been kicking for a decade, hasn't he? Doesn't get many injuries too, Croker, who's out now.
It was 8 years ago today that Shane Flanagan officially succeeded Ricky Stewart. July 2010, when Stewart, he'd announced his intentions to leave months earlier, and then he packed it in on July 20, and Flanagan took over. And it's worked out well for Cronulla, in particular with that premiership a couple of years back under Flano.
Well, that was a great effort there from the Raiders to get themselves back into the game after they tackled virtually for the first 20 minutes. They found some energy. They've got on the scoreboard. Well done to them.
Hodgson has made them such a better team since his return from that ACL. Really able to drop back into an interchange role since Hodgson's return. Now Williams, buoyed by his 100% record as an NRL goal kicker, took the line on. Now Austin. Nice service for Paulo running over the top of a couple. Now Hodgson with Graham out of play down that side. Works it down the short side for the touch finder. That's a good set off the back of points.
Well, after not being in the game for the opening 20 minutes, all of a sudden the Raiders, they've found something. The enthusiasm, the running from Paulo, Dynamis Louis, Joey Leilua, it's getting them on the front foot.
Crowd has been steady. 6 p.m. kickoff. Now, often in these parts this time, as you'd expect. Here is looking forward to final coming for him. Didn't work out there. Sharks for feeder. Another offload, his second to power this season, 4 offloads. Ran into, nearly got a really good shot on. Offload, Townsend. This time, a loose. Inside to Townsend. Harley and Rapina. Big cutout. And they scramble again. Well, they are turning.
Screen there, Jordan Rapina. Somehow got Jesse Ramey, and what a port, as was did something, but Austin was there. Made his way from the middle. Ricky Latelli over the.
Aaron Wood's involved. They spread straight away from for them.
In the Jared Croker as a left winger.
Haven't we? The Sharks.
Oh, even that comes off for Canberra. That wasn't the ball movement they drew up, but it came off. Flicking back off Austin, and Abbey was aware. Now the kick from Williams will find the deck.
And Canberra just aren't ready for their season to finish here at Shark Park tonight.
Bateman in over the top. Just come off the bench for the Raiders. That's great hands from Abbey and awareness as well as it got through Blake Austin. Awkward looking play the ball. They've got to get back to 10 now, Canberra.
Well, they're all in front of the referee there.
Gave them the benefit of the doubt after a tricky play the ball situation. Now Moylan, Townsend out the back. Valentine Holmes looking so dangerous. Important tackle made one-on-one by Williams, who let him go in the nick of time. Townsend scheming, finds Graham, catch and pass a little behind his man. And there's a knock on against the Sharks.
Well, they were just too flat on the outside. Latelli and Edric Lee, they were too flat because Graham had to catch the ball, take a shot and then pass. And they were just too flat. Look at them. He couldn't have thrown it. If he threw it any more forward, well, they're giving a penalty away. That was flat, and as flat as it could be.
Looks to me at the moment when the Sharkies are seeing so many opportunities, they're not working for anything. They're just shifting straight away to their left-hand side, trying to get the ball in hand of Graham and also Moylan. But you've got to build for these sort of things. The points will come.
Excitement levels are through the roof after that try they pulled off earlier in this half of footy, one of the best we've seen all season, and they're thinking they can do it on every play right now.
Players are just in the habit, though. Their brains are hardwired to be flat, where they give themselves a little bit of space, a little bit of depth. Well, Graham's pass finds its mark, and they score. It's as simple as that. That's the difference between no try and try.
And maybe we saw why Edric Lee doesn't play in the centres, because they'd swapped just briefly there, and it was Edric Lee inside Latelli. Maybe if it was the other way around, Latelli might have maintained some depth.
But they were both flat, Speedy. They both gave Wade Graham absolutely no time to throw a decent pass.
Wait, straight up now. Go now, Aaron. Wait!
Hodgson comes back the other way. They weren't really expecting that, the Sharks. They're on the back foot, right side defensively, and Hodgson keeps working that side for Oldfield. Able to get some go forward that time. Rewarded with a contract extension this week, Michael Oldfield as well. Now the kick. Up goes Holmes. Good safe take. Bateman there to greet him.
Right up, hold now.
Half an hour has flown by in our first game on Friday night. Important little period here before the break.
Seguiaro on now for the Sharkies too. Watch him explode out of dummy half. Tiring pack. They've had to make a lot of tackles, the Raiders. Let's see if he starts to run.
Yeah, he's played the majority of time as the dummy half last couple of weeks. So Brayley has been getting about half an hour, 35 minutes maybe per game lately. And here is Seguiaro with his first little dart. Ball comes loose, and they say loose carry. So not the start Seguiaro was after.
No, you're right. That's been the plan the last couple of weeks, where Brayley's come off around the 30-minute mark and Seguiaro's played the rest of the match.
Hodgson will go 80, and here's a penalty for the Raiders to get right into the red zone.
Well, we're inside the final 10 of this first half, and Canberra haven't spent much time down this end of the field, and this is their first penalty of the game.
Tell you what, they are winning the ruck a fair bit too. They haven't had a lot of football, but their play the balls have been very quick.
It's just how hard they're running the footy block. I've been impressed. Anamas Louis, Junior Paulo, they've run they've really laid a platform against the odds.
Well, they took no chances there. Didn't bother finding touch. They just tapped it and gave it to Havili, who set them up. Here he is again, run around play with Hodgson. Onto Papali, and they were sweating on him, weren't they? 3 or 4 Sharks there to corral him. Hodgson delays the pass for Bateman. Doesn't score too many tries. He's just setting them up, and eventually put on the deck by Gal. And that little second effort from the veteran Gallen has created the error. Bateman lost it.
Well, you're right. He wasn't happy just to make the tackle. They want to put them on the ground. Bateman it was, but Gallen, as you said, gets up off his knees. A second effort. Make sure you put him on the ground, slow it down. Tries to get to his feet quick and loses the ball.
Seguiaro just looked up and said, please don't penalise me. He might have got away with one there.
Heads in the back. Let's go. We're on the clock, boys. Get your heads in. See ya, Josh. Heads in, Brad. Shot clock off. Feed. Wait for out. Go 10, Funky.
Plenty going on there as they tried to feed the scrum before that shot clock expired. Woods again putting his hand up. Plenty of hit-ups so far since he came on. And his fair share of tackles too, already into double figures in that category.
Pretty easy for him, the quality play. He's only been playing 40 minutes every week when he's come to the Sharks. Got a lot of blokes around him that can help him lift his game.
Graham gets it to Townsend. Woods one more time. Hodgson giving the ball the working over. Now's the last. Moylan's going to go through the hands for now. Set play for Valentine. Look at Holmes go. And that was clever by Abbey. Otherwise, it was going to fall into the lap of Edric Lee. But the Sharks get it back with a new set.
Well, that set play worked against the Panthers last week and almost worked against the Raiders.
Floater of a pass to Townsend, who goes to Ramian with the spiral. Oldfield gets some help from Williams, but they're all offside on the left edge.
Well, that penalty count is hurting the Raiders. 5-1 at the moment.
Just trying to slow them down, Brandy, aren't they? They're playing at a pace when they've got the football, the Sharks. Nothing much more they can do now, the Raiders.
So many of their attacking threats have come when they've gone left. They come right through Townsend. Delays the pass for Holmes, who's going to stroll over for another one. 15 tries in his last 13 games. He's been threatening all night, and he finally gets there. Valentine for the Sharks.
Can you believe a couple of weeks ago there was talk that Valentine Holmes might have been going to the Cowboys? That quickly stopped, didn't it? Valentine Holmes over the last 4 weeks has been outstanding in the number 1 for the Cronulla Sharks. Opted for the kick, and that was the break off the inside ball from Wade Graham. Then they shift right. Just a simple play out the back. Plenty of work to do there for Michael Oldfield, and Holmes' footwork was just too much for him.
Well, the thing is, Brandy, he's dangerous on both sides of the field. It was only a couple of minutes ago. He makes the break on the left-hand side, stays alive. He covers the ground so well, Valentine Holmes. He's too good. What a player. Can't believe anyone was talking about him going to another club. Since he's come to fullback, he can attack on both sides of the field. 15 tries.
Yep.
Second in the scoring, try scoring in the NRL, and he does it so easy. As you mentioned, Brandy, his footwork, unbelievable. Beats them all hands up and scores so comfortably.
He's into second with a bullet on the try-scoring list, Valentine Holmes. And he does get that early birthday present before he turns 23. He's been around a long time. He's only going to turn 23 on Tuesday.
You know what, Speedy? I'd pay to come and watch him play. He is electric. Love seeing him in full flight. Great footwork. And as I said, on attack on both sides of the field, he's a great player.
Townsend gets that lead back out to 12 points once more, Megan.
Yeah, Val Holmes picking up where he left off a week ago with that double against the Panthers. As you mentioned, Speedy, that's now 15 tries for the season. He's in equal second with the Warriors' David Fusitua on that leaderboard for 2018. South Sydney's Robert Jennings still leads the way with 16, but I wouldn't be surprised if Val catches him tonight.
He's been the scourge of Canberra in recent years. 2 against them in round 10. That's 6 in his past 7 against the Raiders. And remember, he kicked a field goal in Golden Point to sink them back in 2015 as well. He can do it all. And lets Moylan take this one. Still plenty of time for more points before half-time. The mood, Cronulla are in.
Well, the Raiders haven't been bad. They've scrambled well on a few occasions in this first half, but the attack of the Sharks is just too slick for them. Too quick.
Good go forward from Wade Graham. Woods. Hodgson came to try and stop him.
On the right, Josh! Hold! Go, 3.
Now, Moylan, inside ball for Fafita. Keeps it alive for Gallen. Don't forget, right after this, the Broncos against the Panthers. Friday night doubleheader to savour as Seguiaro goes to Townsend. Sorensen running back on an angle. Upended by Papali and Soliola. Quick play the ball. The halfback able to put one high. And coming in off his wing. We've barely mentioned him all night. Nick Kotrick back on the left wing tonight for the Raiders. He's been getting a cold tonight, Blocker.
Well, they haven't had much football, have they? It's been in patches. The first 20 minutes it was all the Sharks. Kotrick will go in and try and make as many carries as he can, but as you said, he's caught a cold out here on the left-hand side. They haven't been that bad, the Raiders. The Sharks have been excellent.
And Williams on to Austin. Abbey gets it to the outside, but they say that's forward. And not too many complaints from Canberra.
Well, have a look where that turnover is now. Well, it'll be a scrum feed to the Sharks, about 35 out. There's the pass there, floated forward a little bit. Rapiner had to really stretch out to catch that footy. He was on the outside of Lee there. But here's another chance. I wouldn't be surprised if they score here, the Sharks. 35 out. Straight away on the attack they'll be.
Yeah, Valentine Holmes looming behind Aaron Woods, who stands at first receiver here. Woods goes through the hands. Holmes is looming up. Set play drawn up for him. They were worried about Ramey and giving away a penalty there, so maybe best that Valentine takes the tackle. Still a chance to get through this entire set. Woods can't force an offload. Papali saw to that. Big line to the left again. Moylan, Townsend, running with purpose. Wade Graham tries the miracle ball, flicked it out the back. Lee tracked it down. 5 seasons as a Raider for Edric Lee. Now Wade Graham, he scored a hat-trick against them. Last year, he reaches out and he thinks he's got another one against Canberra here.
Double B tackle 4. We have a try.
Wade Graham gets
Looking
the
at
job
Jordan
done.
Rapana, comes from an offside
Well, he's
position.
got all the skills,
not a
hasn't he,
marker,
Graham?
but then clearing the
Tried to
grounding,
flick
mate.
out the back, then gets himself into dummy half, goes up the short side
just
again.
clear that.
If you have a look at it here, Rapana is caught in field. Well, here's the try here. Spins out. That is great strength. Yep, that's a try. That is brilliant.
Maintains possession.
Wade
Grounds the
Graham.
ball. We have a decision.
He tried the chance and forced the pass just a little bit earlier, a couple of tackles ago. Gets himself in the dummy half and scores. Have a look at how many Raiders are around him. There's 4 in the tackle there. Great strength. What a player.
And the ball security as well, Blocker. How many players reaching out in a similar situation lose the ball heartbreakingly, but he held on to it until long after the ball had been grounded.
Oh, he's a special player, Graham. And you know what? Left-handed too, on that left-hand side. Very dangerous, very skillful, powerful. And just mixes up his game really well. Catch and pass before the line. He can go through the line. And then he shows strength to score. 4 or 5 Canberra Raiders around him. How he got the ball down, I'll never know, but great strength shown. What a half a footy for the Sharks. They have blown the Raiders off the park.
And the clock freezes with 2 seconds to go. This will be the final action of the first half. And can the Sharks get to 24 in the first half for the first time all season? 22 is their best. Townsend with the opportunity to improve on that by a couple. And a couple of siders from this side of the ground. Drives it low, and he's hit that upright again. It's got his number, but the Sharks are looking really good trying to stop the rot for home teams in this fixture. They lead by 16 at half-time. Well, Canberra's season is on the line. They're 4 points out of the 8, but they are running into a team coming into tip-top form at the business end of the season, and they have 2 players in elite form, Valentine Holmes and Wade Graham, who were unstoppable in that first 40. That's why Cronulla have a 16-point lead, and it's been so tough for this guy head-to-head with Graham.
Yeah, it certainly has. He's been kept pretty quiet, but the Raiders have had no football, and when they've chosen to run the ball, they've gone through the middle. So Whitehead has had to make a lot of tackles, scored 8 tries this season, but hasn't had much ball in this game.
Well, he's only had time to make 2 runs, Block, but he's made 21 tackles, so plenty of work on that side of the field. And, of course, Wade Graham has been outstanding. And a bit to say about him just at the halftime break down that left side. Obviously, a plan of the Sharks was to attack the right. The right side of the Canberra Raiders has been their Achilles heel over the last few years. Graham's been in superb touch. The Raiders were here to play. 12-6 are right in this game, but they're up against a red-hot Sharks side. I haven't seen the Sharks look as good as they looked in that opening 40 minutes all year.
Get behind it, guys.
Away we go in the second half, and it's a shortish kickoff as well. They let it bounce, and it takes a Cronulla bounce. Very fortunate indeed. What Canberra have to do. They might have to chance their arm on multiple occasions to get back into this contest. And there's no Wade Graham out there for the second 40. What's happened, Megan?
Yeah, as we know, Speedy, he only returned from that groin injury last week, but it's causing him some concern tonight. So for precautionary reasons, he won't return tonight.
Wow.
Boy, that's a blow.
Working it in.
Well, can you believe the Sharks have dropped the ball off their first set? The pass was a terrible one behind Aaron Woods. That's a big ask for a front row to be reaching behind and high to catch the footy. And if we recall, the Raiders made the same blue to start the game.
Yeah, Dynamis Louis coughed it up early on a play the ball. So now Canberra, playing against no Wade Graham in the second 40, have the chance to tighten up things on the scoreboard straight away here. Austin inside the 20. And they have been the most ruthless team in the NRL for scoring tries. Quick tap from Austin. Seguiaro's in a bit of bother. Austin pops it out the back. Leigh Lewis scores. And they have taken 90 seconds to hit the scoreboard. Don't give up on the Raiders in 2018.
Well, it might have been unconventional, but it certainly worked. The quick tap from Blake Austin. He got himself into the in-goal area. There's the tap. He's outside the 10, so he's allowed to take it. Just runs straight into Matt Moylan. Can't get the ball down, but very smartly turns his back and just pops a pass to Joey Leilua, who was running onto the footy.
Well, I think it's pretty smart play there from Leilua too, just to push up. He would have thought that Austin might have got there. There was 3 Sharky players around him. They could have caught Seguiaro for being offside. Flops the football back. Leilua, impossible to stop that close to the line. Gives the Raiders some sort of hope now after a bad pass from Seguiaro to start the second half to Aaron Woods. It was a terrible pass, and the Raiders make him pay.
Well, you said it, Speedy. The Raiders 22-6 down at half-time. They needed to get that balance right of playing catch-up footy, but also controlling the footy. They needed to do something different and something special, and they've been able to get themselves on the scoreboard very early in this second stanza.
And Williams is slotting them nicely. Never kicked in the NRL until tonight, but had some experience in the under-20s in years gone by, and also for Mounties this season when he was back in the reserves.
Just watching him run back here, he's in all sorts. He's hobbling, the 5'8".
Another injury due to goal kicking? Surely not. Aiden Caesar went down with a hammy doing goal kicking this week.
Would have stubbed his toe or something.
Holmes with a restart. So Canberra make it a 10-point ball game. Away they go again. Sorensen just not letting Papali go.
Well, boys, Ricky Stewart will be very happy with that start. His message in the sheds was be more patient, build field position, and the points will come. Well, boy, just like that, the points have come. He'd be wrapped.
Inducted into the NRL Hall of Fame this week as well, Ricky Stewart. Can he finish off the week with another massive high as Hodgson scheming left side attack for Canberra, just like Cronulla in that first half when they looked so rampant out on that side. Williams just hangs it up. It's Abbey, climbs, comes back off Holmes. It was a good contest. It's 6 more for Canberra. Interesting choice to kick it across to a teammate, but they knew they had the safety valve of the scrum feed.
Okay, all up, shot clock on.
Well, he is human. He makes a mistake there, Holmes.
Gee, that was a big collision mid-air, wasn't it? Brad Abbey and Holmes going up for the footy.
The good thing is he made it a contest. He's played pretty well, Abbey. Scored a try and also puts himself in a position to take the ball off Holmes there.
You don't see a whole lot of contests like that these days. Normally the blockers will get in the road and you can't have a run at them like that.
Hold, Matt. Hold.
Well, they go for it straight away, Canberra. The line is deep, but Papali tries to thread his way through initially. It was an awkward stumble for the Queensland Maroons forward.
Quicker.
Inside 10. You can't tap it and go
You're
there.
inside
Hodgson.
10 and he's in.
Unfortunately for Canberra.
He's just keeping him honest there.
Because it's inside the 10, you can't take the quick tap. Now they go through Havili.
We know that the Raiders can score pretty quickly too. Got plenty of players out there that can get across that stripe. The Sharks will let him straight back in this game.
Flat ball for Papali, trying to slam it down in amongst 3 Sharks.
Do you need to check or you're definite? Okay, held up, tackle 2, Josh Papali. Time off.
Referee's
Tackle
worked it
2.
out. Papali
Time off.
is not perplexed by the call. He's happy with it.
Tackle 2.
Dangerous man, that close to the line. Big, powerful Josh Papali. The flat ball almost, well, it caught the Sharks' defence a bit short.
Hodgson. Oh, brilliant. Scheming Josh Hodgson. Held up on back-to-back plays,
General.
as the Englishman got there.
That will be tackle 1 Sharks. No try, tackled in goal. Just make sure Josh Hodgson doesn't ground it before the ball is stripped and Cronulla tackled in goal.
Oh, he's in a great position to rule on it. There's the try line. He gets himself into the in-goal area. Val Holmes underneath. Hodgson fighting to get the ball down.
Nah.
You wouldn't think so, Block.
Good players can make stop tries too, as well as score them.
He's got a pretty good hold on that, Holmes.
And then he's allowed to rip it clear because there's a try-scoring situation unfolding. And what they're going to say is a restart via a line dropout for the Sharks, I believe.
Yeah, ball's gone now. Holmes takes it out of his arm. So the ball hasn't touched the ground. There's no risk.
Josh Hodgson is in the act of scoring and the ball is allowed to be stripped. Valentine Holmes strips the ball. We have a decision.
So he's then tackled in his own in goal, and it should be a restart via a dropout, even though the Raiders have the ball right now with Hodgson. I think it'll be a line dropout.
Josh,
yep.
He's allowed to strip it when they're scoring like that. He's allowed, yeah, if he's in the act of scoring, but it's a dropout.
Yeah, Hodgson saying there's 3 in on the tackle, but as the referee explains, it's okay.
You've got to be able to stop a try.
Holmes with the dropout, holds up a little. Papali can get them back inside the 30. So they are knocking on the door. It's game on again. In the Shire. Soliola at speed. Williams demanding it. Hodgson goes down the short side instead for Oldfield, who had his troubles defensively in that first 40. An unfamiliar role, hasn't played centre very often in his NRL career.
Wasted tackle there.
Soliola goes to Williams this time. Used Havili as a decoy. Austin forced to wait for the pass. And his legs are chopped from underneath him by Seguiara. Now, Abbey, great hands again, but won't be able to keep it alive, and it's a handover.
Control it, punt.
Just on the ground there.
Well, they just didn't give themselves enough chances.
Don't jump early.
Didn't attack the Sharks' defence enough times in that set of 6. On the far side of the field, Josh Papali had to race into dummy half because there was no one there. That was a dead tackle.
Well, that ruined their set, didn't it?
And then when they threw it right, Block, the big shift, well, the execution of the passes was poor, and Austin had to reach behind himself and almost stop to catch the ball. They can't waste chances. Down like they are. I know it's only 10 points, but when they get down this end of the field, they need to make it count.
Last away game for them was at Belmore a few weeks ago when they were 14 points down with 5 to go and still won. Inspired by Blake Austin. Still plenty of time for Canberra, and we can check in with their injured captain, Jared Croker, standing by with Megan.
Good enough to join me, Speedy. What exactly did Ricky say in the sheds? Because the boys are looking good in the second.
Yeah, look, it was pretty straightforward. We obviously didn't have any ball, and I think the possession was up around 70-30, which is always going to be tough. They learn at Shark Park, so we talked about getting back into the grind, getting that even weight of possession back, and we knew we'd get out of yardage pretty well, which we are again here, but we just got to keep finishing our sets and then try and turn that possession around.
Well, we all want to know, how is the knee? I saw you limping into Shark Park.
Beautiful.
Whitehead throws the dummy, stand by.
Yeah, look, it's okay. It's actually not too bad at the moment because I haven't had surgery yet, so I'll get surgery on it next week. I'm sure it'll be sore for
Leilua might have scored one. He might have two already in the second half. Jared Croker's pretty confident.
What did you make of that, Croak?
Yeah, that was nice.
General,
Sorry, mate.
last tackle.
Stuffed the interview up there, but
Have a try.
yeah, the boys are back.
Looking at
Yeah, look,
grounding.
I get surgery on Tuesday,
If
so
we don't have a
yeah,
grounding,
it's not too bad at the
Andrew
moment, but
Fafita
I'll
has
be in the
not
knee
got
brace
back
for
on
probably
side.
6 weeks.
I'll let you celebrate. Good on you, Jared. Thank you.
Thanks, mate. Cheers. Sorry, mate.
Joey Leilua, no problem. Gets the ball down, just keeps it squeezed onto his
Joey
chest.
Leilua maintains possession and grounds the ball in the end goal. We have a decision.
Boy, oh boy.
Thanks, mate.
The pass from Jordan Rapana to Elliot Whitehead.
Beautiful pass, wasn't it? Got that knack of being able to get in between players and break tackles and then offload. There's the try.
He's down. That hurt Rapana. He's just getting himself back on the ground. But the Raiders are back in block. 2 tries. We're only 8.5 minutes into this second half. They went in at 22-6. Watch this pass from Jordan Rapana. Absolutely brilliant. Step, foot, palm, back on the inside to Whitehead.
Great stuff.
Took the tackle, and then Leilua pushing up as he has done all game.
Now just see Fafita there. He turned his back on the attacking team there.
I thought it was a good sign in the first half, the enthusiasm of Joey Leilua. Just rolled up the sleeves, hit the ball hard, put a dent in the Canberra defence, and he has been everywhere he's needed to be tonight.
And he's run for 81 metres, Brandy, and he's just pushed up, as you said, around the ball to get the 2 tries that he has. Put himself in a position.
Important that Williams keeps slotting them.
He has.
It's a 4-point ball game. We're so used to Cronulla being the fast finishers at home. They got off to a red-hot start today, and now it's Canberra coming from the clouds.
Well, the possession's turned around. That's the big thing. They really battled in the first half to get the football. They've had all the ball straight away from that mistake from Woods. Had all the ball in the start of the second half, and they can score points.
And here's what it means, live ladder. So Canberra not getting any points right now. 4 points adrift of Brisbane, 4 and against is handy. And as it stands, Cronulla in the top 4, but that could all change in the next half hour. Home fans trying to give their team a little bit of a spark. They've come out of the sheds cold with no Wade Graham. Taken off as a precaution. I wonder whether Shane Flanagan is reflecting on that precaution and thinking we better get Wade Graham back out there.
There is the possession split of the opening 10 minutes of this half, 80-20. Canberra have made the most of it with 2 tries.
Here's Whitehead playing his part.
And isn't it amazing? You can see the spring in the step now from the Raiders. Got themselves right back into the game. Aggressive defence there from the Sharks.
Yeah, great work by Woods, but Leilua almost carved them up again.
Boy, he's been impressive.
Hodgson told Rapana to get out of dummy half, and it's a safe kind of kick from Williams. Holmes was waiting for it in the corner.
Well, as you know, Brand, it's really hard to wrestle back that momentum. When you haven't had the football, it's a little bit like the Raiders in the first half, couldn't get off their own line. The Sharkies now have got to battle upfield.
Well, that's the challenge that face the Sharks. They're 4 points in front block, but they have lost the momentum of the game. You're right. Katoa up the middle off a Gallen pass, almost.
He surely held. Papali says, play it, young man. Katoa thought he was going to be able to continue. Now Gallen gets it on the outside for Ramian. And he had to step up after dropping back initially, Kotrick, on that left wing. And he makes the tackle on another youngster. Now the kick from Townsend. Were the chasers onside or not? That's the big decision. Abbey dropped it out the back. Austin was covering for him. And they were cleared, those chasers. Rapana normally gets more metres than that from dummy half. Abbey has a go as well. Cronulla looking to muscle up defensively and turn the game again. Williams, Austin trying to create an extra number. Whitehead. Soliola might be going off with an HIA, is he? He's being dragged off with some kind of injury, and that's going to pave the way for an NRL debut. Oh, almost Katoa, who got there ahead of Kotrick, and Jack Murchie is into the NRL fray. The 21-year-old on debut out there on the left edge. Will they go that way, Cronulla, and test out the young man? Great run from Gallen.
He's got some size about him too, the young fella.
They go Murchie's way now. Townsend. Inside ball was being drawn up. Williams aware of it, knocked it down for 6 more for Cronulla. Clearly played at by Sam Williams. Seguiara. Haven't been in this part of the field for the entire second half, Cronulla. Townsend. Gallen trying to crash his way through, and he is absolutely upended by Bateman, who gets his own back. Creates the error.
Okay, all up.
He's one of those middle forwards, Bateman, that just hits low and hard. There's a few of them in the competition. Gets low, strong. They pick Gallen up, Whitehead over the top. Certainly assisted in causing that error.
Just haven't been able to break into any sort of rhythm, have they? Mistake after mistake for the Sharks to start this second half. Only 2 from 4.
They've been perfect, the Raiders, 9 from 9. As you'd have to be, trailing 22-6.
Yeah, can they make it the perfect 10? Right here and now, they try and catch them offside. I've seen a lot of that in the last couple of weeks. One coach came up with it, and the rest are following, trying to catch teams offside from those scrum situations by holding the ball a little longer. There's Murchie's first hit up.
It's an old trick, Speedy. It's an old trick become new again.
Yeah, exactly. Jack Murchie's parents made the drive up from Ulladulla to watch his NRL debut. He gets it again. A young man who was man of the match for the under-20 New South Wales side last year against the Maroons. Now Austin, flat ball for Whitehead, does well to hold on as Moylan got to him. It is the last. Austin looking for touch. Oh, Valentine thought about letting it roll. Might have been a better option, but elected to take it on, and now he's upended. Watch him with a little word of encouragement in Valentine's ear as well.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be sledging Valentine. Just be leaving him alone.
Got to pick your targets, Block.
I think so.
No, you would have had a crack at him, Block.
I wouldn't have caught him.
Trying to get him off his game somehow as Seguiara, a little one-hand scoop. Pryor right up the middle. Offload as well to Seguiara. Now Gallen. If he went through the hands, they were a big chance. Now they go that way. Moylan catch and pass to Paulo. Cut out ball to Edric Lee. Somehow to Paulo. That's play on as well. What's the call? One referee saying one way.
I'm coming in, mate.
So I think it's going to remain Cronulla ball.
Right here.
Seguiara knocked it on, trying to pick it up, but it's still Sharks ball.
Well, that was reminiscent of some of the play in the first half. The hands beautiful. Paulo, Edric Lee.
Okay, bring it in. Shot clock's running. Keep an eye on him.
Are they saying that's a little the knock-on from Canberra, push the ball forward, or Seguiara?
Knock on Abbey and then Seguiara on the pickup. They spotted a little knock on, I think.
So it's Sharks ball.
Yeah.
Wait for the out call.
Yeah, Moylan's ready to feed the scrum.
Wait for the out call, Silver. Heads in here. Shot clock off. Out!
Townsend will get it. Holmes looms. Little double pump. Not falling for it, Murchie. That's a great sign for Canberra, isn't it? The youngster making the one-on-one stop on Holmes. Now Woods. Takes 3 or 4 to stop him. Sloppy play the ball. Pryor trying to crash his way over. Murchie gets a hand this time from Havili. Knocking on the door. Seguiaro can't duck his way to the try line. Moylan had to reach for it. Elusive. On the up for Gallen. Oh, he nearly got the arm free as well. They would have been hard to stop there as Ramian was in support, a long way from his normal station. Now Paulo, Townsend, Moylan. Look where Ramian is now. He ran all the way to get there, and the touch pass for Katoa, but they're whistling it and blowing it up.
Hang on, no,
they're play on now, and Katoa dots it down. What's the call?
Well, he nearly gave himself up there, didn't he?
Had no try.
Katoa.
Confirming we've got a knock on. We're on last tackle.
I think the touchies flag went up briefly, and then they said, hang on a minute, let's just wait for the bunker to sort it all out. And Canberra are blowing up deluxe.
Well, they went through the hands. As you said, Ramian got himself involved.
That's a knock on,
He gets a touch to the ball, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Jesse Ramian touches his right hand there. Misses the ball, knock on.
Yeah, I really didn't see it as a lifted one, but I'll look at it. Okay, mate. I've heard you, and I'll have a look at it.
They're still not sure whether it touched his hand.
Well, does the ball change any sort of direction? I don't know if it does hit him.
I think it definitely glances his bicep area. Need to look at the other angle, obviously.
Jesse Ramian doesn't touch the ball.
I didn't think so.
We're playing through at
It
this stage.
touches his
It didn't do the
upper right arm, doesn't it? And stand by for what the touch he does here. He's signalling it, and then he goes, oh, no, I didn't see anything. The referee's got the whistle. That's why Canberra is saying, what are you going to adjudicate on here?
Did Jared Sutton...
Well, he's looking at the touch. He's saying, you had your flag up there and you put it down.
The ball, we have a decision.
Did Jared Sutton blow the whistle, or did he just put the whistle in his mouth to stop play? There was confusion everywhere.
They're going to award this.
Out there. Wow.
And Canberra with their season on the line. You can hear the Raiders fans blowing up. 300 Ks away.
I reckon they all stopped when the touchy put his flag up. They all just stopped playing.
Well, why did he put his flag up? Did he want...
Hey, Sharry, come mate.
Did he want to call a knock on?
Yes.
Because there was no one near the touch line.
Yeah, mate,
so
I will.
obviously he put the flag up.
How are those sets looking
There it
now,
goes.
Joey?
Watch this. Yeah.
What's he doing?
He's not signalling that the foot is in touch.
No, I know.
He's signalling I've seen a knock on. And surely you've seen it too.
Boys, wait for the kick, please.
Jared Sutton put the whistle to his mouth and Canberra stopped. Now, was there a whistle blown? Or did he just put it to his mouth?
Well, we need to go to the sounds of the game. We're going to go back and check the audio, Brandy, and see whether the whistle was blown. But Canberra all stopped.
Well, I reckon he put it to his mouth. As soon as he seen him put the flag down, he pulled it out of his mouth.
Are you confident that he didn't touch that?
Well, I just look at the deviation of the ball.
No, thank you.
He didn't touch his hands, but it touched his arm, did it not? It glances around the bicep region, which constitutes a knock-on still, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Yes. And that's what the touch he saw.
Wait for it. Girls.
Blocky, you think there's no touch at all off Ramian?
I don't think so.
Brandy and I think the other way.
I've got my glasses on too, just quietly.
Well, it's a massive call. And it's back to a 10-point ball game.
Massive talking point. And that margin blows out to 10 points again. From Canberra scrum feed, working their way out of their own line, still in a 4-point battle. Oh. Great hit by Hodgson. Head rock back initially from Sorensen. And they're all offside here.
Yeah, Josh Papali.
10-metre port.
You could see it clearly, just left too early.
I'll come through, Funky.
Here we go. does this touch the upper arm, right side of Ramian or any sort?
You know what? I always look to see if the ball deviates, and I don't think it did. Honestly.
Well, the touch judge saw something.
And then was scared and put his flag down.
Because there's always the fallback plan of, oh, just let the bunker work it out. Keep the flag down, play on. Townsend, oh, that's a knock-on against Ramian. I reckon they'll call that one. They don't need to now as Kotrick tidies up. Maybe they will because it's inside the 10.
Scrum out here.
Well, no advantage to the Canberra Raiders, so they'll get the scrum feed now. Pass from Chad Townsend just behind Sorensen as he came to the defence. It was Jesse Ramian.
Make sure you don't break for an out call. Hold in there for an out.
Wait here in defence.
Broncos fans will be celebrating this scoreline as it stands. Still plenty of time for Canberra to turn it around. The Broncos are in action next, right after this, hosting Penrith at Suncorp. They're a little shaky in 8th spot, aren't they, the Broncos? Penrith still in the hunt for the minor premiership. What a game to look forward to as Oldfield's unhappy night at left centre continues.
Okay, shot on
the first play. And they get around Sione Katoa.
He's had a couple of big games for the Canberra Raiders and agreed to an extension of his contract through the week. Just as he tried to get back up and run again, Katoa's contact forced the error.
Very hopeful look to the referee that maybe they'd call it play on, but knock on given against Oldfield. Paulo floats one over the top. What about Joseph Paulo off the bench with his ball play? The veteran. Now he's demanding it here at first receiver. Wrestled to the ground by Dynamis Louis, back out there for a final stint. Townsend. Woods, run around play, Moylan. And they numbered up on Valentine Holmes.
Yeah, they defended that well. That was a good play from the Sharks, but the Raiders read it, had numbers there to make the stop.
Woods with a settler. Murchie working over the ball. Seguiaro down that short side. Ramian tough to stop. Can he reach out a la Graham? Well, that's okay because they're stopping a try. That's why it's play on for now. Will they go upstairs and have a look?
No try. Tackle 1 Canberra, Nick Kotrick. They have no grounding. Stripped by Raiders in the act of scoring and tackle 1 here.
Josh Papali it was from the inside after
Nick Kotrick.
Oldfield was beaten. Ramian's been a handful for Michael Oldfield this evening. Oh boy, that went close.
Well, Kotrick's left hand just got under the ball as he's going about to put it down.
How good's that?
What about the position there of Ramian to try and get that football down?
And the ball is stripped in the act of scoring, which is allowed by Nick Kotrick, and he maintains possession. We have a decision.
A contortionist, Jesse Ramian, almost gets the ball down, but saved by Nick Kotrick.
What about the presence of mind? He's still 19 years of age, Nick Kotrick. He's come up with some of the most incredible defensive plays already in his young career. And that's another one.
Funky.
He's a goodie.
Your whistle, tackle 1.
So close to an Origin debut this year for the Blues. He'll be there in the next couple, you'd reckon.
Well, there's been some fight in the Canberra Raiders tonight, but all of it's required right now.
Papali had to search for it a little. Not a lot of go forward so far on this set. They're a little tired after that defensive stand. Still plenty of time to turn it around, just like they did at Belmore a fortnight ago.
Well, like no other side in the competition, Canberra. They can muster a try when they need to from whatever position. 10 points isn't enough for Cronulla to feel safe.
Katoa, the scorer of a highly contentious try. They've got the numbers to the left here. Moylan wants it. He'll get it from Townsend. Wrapped up effectively by Whitehead, and Hodgson just fell on him eventually. Home fans didn't appreciate that kind of treatment for their 5'8". Gallen sets them up on the last. Right in front of the uprights. Seguiaro set play and well read by Louis. He got there ahead of Valentine Holmes.
Just got to find their way back up the other end of the field, haven't they, the Raiders? Can throw a blanket over them at the moment. They've hit the wall. One out running. They need to find a pass here.
Leilua, he's been making it happen all night. What a run out of dummy half. Picks up 15. Rapiner off the back of that. Picks up another 15, maybe more. Thought about the pass to Austin. There's no one at marker for Cronulla. Williams stabs it for the corner. Great pick-up, Katoa, but they can hem them in a little. They have shifted the ground a little.
Gee, that was a good set, wasn't it? Again, Leilua, Rapana. Rapana's got the best fend in the game.
Any dispute to that blocking? You reckon Rapana's up there for the best fend in the game?
I'll tell you what, it's a hard one too, but
It's almost like a punch block.
well, Greg Inglis isn't bad.
That's a good one.
He hits back blocker. Didn't take him long.
Well, you asked me.
You got there, well done. Moylan, so elusive. They hold off Matty Moylan and he links with Latelli. Canberra backtracking again. Now Moylan gets it to his halves partner. High from Townsend. Kotrick able to go high and take it safely. Not much go forward this time. Great tackle coming in from Katoa on Oldfield.
Got stung.
Tackle 2.
It's his first start at centre since 2011 as a Sea Eagle against the Rabbitohs. He scored a try that day.
Look, I know that hurts, but you've got to try and find some way to play the ball and then go down. Honestly, he played the ball 5 seconds later.
Might have been feeling for his ACL there as Liam Knight gets out there in the number 17 jumper. Now Louis, Austin, set play drawn up here and they get it to Leilua. Oh, look, great. Rapiner couldn't link up with his man. And that'll be a knock on against the Raiders and Cronulla ball.
Yeah, should have kept running there, Brent.
Well, I guess he's got his mate outside him who's probably got a little bit more speed, hasn't done many things wrong. Great hands from Brad Abbey, catch and passes. Moylan and Edric Lee descended upon him and then just out in front of him too far. Gee, a good pass there and the Raiders find themselves way downfield.
It was a no-look pass and it didn't really need to be.
He's done nothing wrong tonight, Leilua. He's been outstanding. That's his only blemish.
And that's what the Sharks have ahead of them in the remainder of the season. Away to the Broncos next week, a winnable game against Manly. Storm away. It will be a blockbuster, won't it? And they welcome the Cowboys and the Knights here. Nice finish to the season on paper for Cronulla, isn't it? Those last 3 in particular, as they hunt that top 4 spot.
And wait till you see the Raiders run home. It ain't pretty.
That's why Oldfield took so long, didn't he? You saw that knee bend, Brandy, and it looked ominous. So does that run home.
Yeah, medial damage. Yeah, it's a toughie, isn't it? Away from home, Storm, the Panthers, the Tigers. Then it's a blockbuster fortnight. Roosters and South. They might know their fate before that. They've just got to keep winning.
Holmes eventually put down. Bakuya.
That's a good replacement bringing Peculiar on now. You watch him around the middle of the ruck with his footwork and strength. Gets himself involved in the game. So I say their bench is so strong, the Sharks.
Townsend. Moylan was trying to link with Holmes, who just let it hit the deck, and Qatar were able to tidy up. So a little clunky all of a sudden. Cronulla, who were red hot in the first half. Here is that man, Bakuya. Wrestled to the ground, ball and all by Hodgson. The last for Moylan. Drops it on the boot, played at, and they're away. Whitehead tracks down his own trap. Still goes. He knows he's got Austin outside him. Will he push the pass? It's a good option to take it. Everett Lee dragged off the tackled man just in the nick of time. Otherwise, he might have been bound for the bin. What about the pass from Leilua? They say it went forward.
No.
Canberra's looking at a try at the corner, but for that call.
Is that the pocket referee that made that call?
He's not forward.
No.
I thought it was forward.
Oh, he thought it was forward, please. They had 14 Shark players offside. There could have been a penalty. Now they're going to lose the ball. The Raiders,
Okay,
they don't deserve
together.
this.
That's not forward.
Oh, that's fine.
Bring it in.
That's fine. Sometimes it's hard to tell. That one, it wasn't.
No, because you could see the line.
Let's
That
bring it ready to go.
wasn't hard to tell. That's a shocking
I thought it was
call.
forward.
Well, you thought wrong,
There's
sir.
not so much more I can do say than that.
They
Hold it
don't
here.
deserve that.
Wait here.
Mate, that's the game there.
They copped a shocker at the other end as well, via the bunker, and now they've copped that. Canberra can't take a trick tonight. You said, that's fine, that's fine. Hopefully Ricky Stewart's not looking at a fine after what he says post-game tonight.
Well, I reckon they'd be getting the 10 gorillas ready right now, the Raiders.
Woods does get another offload away to Brayley, who's back out there to finish off the game in the dummy half roll. Moylan deputises. Safe stuff from the Sharks with that 10-point buffer. 10 to go. Woods shaping for an offload again. They're aware of that threat. And wrap him up that time. Interesting hand manoeuvre there by Liam Knight. Didn't find any dramas though. Now taken over the top by that man Katola again. Canberra will get it back via a handover. Don't forget, Broncos against Panthers right after this on Fox League.
They won't stop trying here, the Raiders. They've created plenty of opportunities in this second half. Scored the first 2 tries in the second half, and they are a side that can score quickly.
Abbey has put his hand up for so many runs, hasn't he? The young man. And Liam Knight. If he finds open pastures, he can motor for a big man, as we saw at Campbelltown a few weeks back. Austin trying to draw something up here. But Kotrick coming across to the right-hand side, trying to link up with Leipana. Was Moylan square at marker? It's given the all clear. He's still able to find his mate in Ruppiner. They've got that fend going again. Oh, now the ball comes loose. Penalty. They'll take that. And the quick tap taken by Ruppiner.
Get up, get up. Hold.
Can Canberra score on this set? And set up that grandstand finish. It's where they're at their best, inside the attacking 20. They ask for a forward pass, the Sharks fans, they won't get that one. Penalty. 10-point margin, they've got to go back and start again from 10 out. Hodgson communicating with his halves on what they're drawing up here play-wise. Sam Williams says to Kotrick, get back out on the left edge. They go right side now, through Williams. Played at, touched by a Sharky at 6 more. Tackle count was only young anyway. Austin, a little hop, skip and a jump. Goes wide to Oldfield on one leg, and that both legs are chopped down, and he's lost it again.
Come up with an error. Well, Austin just dancing across the face of the Cronulla defence there, through the long ball that had them under the pump. Ramey, and great low tackle there. Michael Oldfield. You're right, he's battling with that medial ligament injury.
They are big boots to fill, aren't they, at left centre for the Raiders. No Jared Croker for the rest of the season.
Well, no season, no Croker. It was always going to be a battle tonight. But if the Sharks weren't as good as they have been with the ball, and I haven't seen Cronulla score tries like they have tonight, well, the Raiders get them. They're playing for their season, and they haven't let themselves down.
Woods has been so strong. 17 runs, edging up towards 140 metres gained as well.
And I would say if there was a few more efforts like they've made tonight, they wouldn't be in the predicament that they're in. Currently 4 points out of the 8.
They're missing that man, Jared Croker, aren't they? As for Feeder. A bit of a standoff centre field between he and Liam Knight. Eventually able to wrestle clear for a sloppy-looking play the ball. Townsend. Up goes Katoa. Was he blocked off by Oldfield? Yes, he was. Needlessly.
Right there, just put the ball on the ground, not a quick one.
Just when they were about to get the ball back for another crack.
Mate, we're going here, mate.
Katoa doing Neymar proud there as he took the dive.
Contact probably wasn't as heavy as how he hit the ground.
Sold it well, did Sione Katoa. Didn't sell the try that well, but he still got given it. Now Brayley, out of dummy half to seal it. And Canberra might have held him up.
General, that will be tackle 2. Jaden Brayley, no try. Held up. Tackle 2.
Nick Contrick's in there again.
Mate.
Remember last year, Jaden Brayley was the early favourite for the Rookie of the Year prize, and then Kotrick won it almost unanimously.
And Jack Murchie on debut. He played the biggest part in denying Jaden Brayley there. Just got up underneath him and flipped him over.
Late support from Williams as he saw the Steeden getting into a dangerous spot. There's no way that
held
got
up.
to
We
the
have a
ground.
decision.
Yeah, tackle 2. Got to wait, Jaden.
So Brayley to play it. 10 out.
Wait. Hold. Go, 2.
Still very early in the tackle count for Feeder. He's already taken them with him once. Across the try line for his first of the season in the first half. They're up early here, right side defence, Canberra. That's why they're booing in the stands. That pass was suspect. Paulo able to keep it alive to Townsend. Pryor.
Up your choice.
Moylan. Paulo trying to draw up that set play for Holmes again. Hodgson pounces. Will he kick for Rapiner? He just floats one over the top instead. Ankle tap from Edric Lee was clever. 4 minutes for Canberra.
They won't die wondering, will they, the Raiders?
Quickly from one side to the other. Oldfield must hold on in this situation. Able to play it cleanly. Now Knight
Jesse!
Don't work him off the arm.
Trying to get the strike players into position now. Austin holds up the pass. They get Kotrick over to that side again.
Hands away.
Go, 3.
Look at Leilua out of dummy half. Oh, he nearly had Austin to hit.
Over there now. Straighten up, 1 foot and hold.
Rapida gets there. No, Hodgson eventually to dummy half. Williams back to Knight. He's a big man, able to get the offload away. What can they do with the second phase? Williams, crossfield. Can he link? He can. Rapida! Not going to be stopped. They're still alive. You wouldn't expect anything else from Canberra but a grandstand finish.
Well, they've just kept fighting the Raiders. They had every right to give up 10 points down. We've seen them come up with some miracles over the last few weeks. Rapana gets the ball off Williams after he did a good job, Williams, there. He was running out of space and out of players, but was just able to squeeze between 2 defenders, give the ball to his winger, who scores a try, and, well, they're never down, are they?
Well, a couple of offloads there in that set. Liam Knight, it was the first one in the middle third of the field. Here's Williams with the kick.
Caresses it and adds the extras. 4 points the difference. Where's he been hiding as a goal kicker?
Well, that's 4 from 4 in difficult conditions, in not easy positions. Sam Williams has made it look easy and kept them in the game with his goal kicking. 28-24. A massive couple of minutes to finish.
What about Rapiner against the Sharks? That's 8 tries in his last 6 games against them. And this week, he was the one saying, we can do this. We can still make the 8. Even though the road ahead is tough.
Well, time and time again in this second half, they've been able to get the ball out of their own end with good, strong runs. Hodgson and Rapiner in that last set.
That's
getting them out of trouble.
Taken by Austin, and then his support runner overrun him. Able to go again and readjust for Knight.
Work out of there.
80 metres to go. 2 to go. Papali on an edge. Great defence, Cronulla. They drive back Papali, 12 metres. Sorensen really does a great job, doesn't he, deputising for Luke Lewis. He debuted against Canberra in 2014. This is just his 11th game tonight. Now, Austin to Rapina. Can he get around Edric? Back inside, finds Kotrick, who's come over to join the party on the right-hand side. 90 seconds to go. Keeping it in the hands. Williams. All the way across to the first gamer, Murchie. What do they do on the last? Williams, he is going to go high. Didn't travel a whole lot. Moylan says, I'll take it upon myself to defuse this situation. And he is a star for the Sharks.
Well, he showed his fullback qualities there, Matt Moylan. Just took it upon himself to make sure that he just closed the ball down.
Fafita as slow as he can be. And looking for a one-on-one strip. He's got it, Hodgson. Knock on against him, they say. Not against Gallen, and that'll do it.
Isn't he a tough competitor?
And now the penalty for backchat. Frustration understandable for Canberra, but it is
We're done.
the end of the road tonight for them.
Well, I just might have argued the point as well. Did that go forward or did it go back?
Well, it's been propelled towards his own goal line. Has it gone back?
Yes, it has, Stephen. It went back.
Stay there.
Right, keep coming.
Surrender.
A valiant effort from Canberra, but their season may well be over. Cronulla into the top 4 for now after an absorbing Friday night encounter. Ricky Stewart will have plenty to complain about as well. A controversial try went against them, and then the forward pass at the other end at a key moment. They come up 4 points short after attempting the big second half comeback. Full time in the Shire. Cronulla 28, Canberra 24.